Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey.
Hey, hey, hey.
Third time's a charm. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another twofold podcast episode. Season 2.
The final of the Tim series.
We finally finished the end of the trilogy.
Indeed. The trilogy
Sorry,
is...
I'm just excited. I'm pumped. I'm ready for this.
let me do my intro, my friends. So, yes,
go.
it is the finale of the trilogy. I think the title...
What is this trilogy about, Tim?
Well, the trilogy, the title was movies that Tim watched a lot when he was a child and he never seen in like 300 years, and now he's
Yeah.
watching them. Except it doesn't really, apply to this movie as well, because this movie I've actually only seen once in my life as a child.
Oh, how did you find it? How did you even remember it?
And it's been haunting me since then, since I saw it once. And I'll tell you the tale. I'll tell you the tale of the story, the tale of the story. But let me tell you about what we watched. We watched a movie called
Yes,
To the Ends of Time.
yes.
And I'm going to tell you the tale right after this theme song. Right there to wake you up. Yeah. So we're here.
Yeah.
Third episode.
Here we are.
Next episode. Who knows what kind of theme it'll have? We're talking about movies I saw as a kid.
That's right.
The movie is To the Ends of Time. I saw it as a kid a long time ago.
Came out
but
in 1996.
yeah, but before we get there, I just want to check with the boys. The boys, how are you guys doing?
The boys. I'm good.
Boys.
I'm all right.
You're
How are
all right.
you, buddy?
Yeah, how are you?
Buddy, friend.
The host. How's the host feeling? Is the host feeling good enough?
I think
Is he up
so.
to the
I think
challenge?
so. I mean, it was a. I'm just messing around with my audio here. It was a journey, to get here.
Oh, I know.
To find this movie, to get to finally.
Oh, yes.
Oh, I thought you were going
watch
to say
it.
it was a journey to be a host. I mean, since 2013, podcasting.
Oh, it's true. Yeah. For any of you who don't know, who never went to our old podcast, Phil and Jake in Conversation, Tim was our fabled guest who came once or twice, but then we kept getting him back in.
That was my favorite, yeah. I
and
think by
the
by
more
the
and
end,
more
he became
time,
a permanent co-host.
Look at me now. I'm
Look at
hosting.
him now, hosting his own episode.
He is now the king.
His
I
own
have-
brainchild.
I have slowly
As it were.
taken over. Sorry, I was being a very unresponsive. I was trying to do my levels as we're talking. Don't do that. Don't try to be like, because don't try to do that. I think my levels were too
I'm doing it
high.
right now.
I know, but I'm not as good. You guys are seniors. You guys.
The
are-
audience doesn't care about the
Seniors.
levels. Come on.
Tim, that's
Yeah,
ageism.
no,
Stop
that's true.
it.
That's true. So yeah,
Seniors.
I'm the host
As if
now. Yeah,
seniors can't
this is
do
good
just as
times.
much.
Yes,
Jake
look
is-
at me. I'm the host now. Let's do it.
Jake is fed. He's good. Phil
Yeah,
doesn't have.
I'm a 2-hour late order.
That was funny. We had to wait for this podcast. We said let's record at 9, and then Jacob's like, I can't right now. I'm really hungry.
3 cans of their beer that they make.
That's
so.
good. That's good.
Wait,
but Jacob,
so
you're like,
they knew
really?
they're going to be late? Did they prepare
See,
the
that's what I was
cans?
wondering myself too. How did they know?
Yeah, they knew. They
Where did they
didn't
have the
prepare.
time?
You know what it is? You know what I think it is? This
Maybe they
happened
have
to
a
me
mini fridge.
before. No, I think this has happened to me before, and I think like they were late, and you call the restaurant, and you're like, and they're going. Something must have happened. They're going. And then the dude arrives like 2 hours later, and he's like got all like cakes and like beers and goodies. We're so sorry, we're late. And you're like, how did you know to prepare all this? I'm pretty sure
That's my question,
someone
too.
at the restaurant forgot the order, and then they had to
Last
scramble
minute,
to make it.
Grab
and
the beer
then they're like,
put them in.
yeah,
That's very
just send
plausible.
it.
That sounds about right.
That, or they would have like that little, but this is very unlikely. Those little bags that like cooler bags, cooler containers or something. But that seems very unlikely, because what would the threshold be, right? Like, what would they look at their clock, like 45 minutes or something? Like,
Look at their clock, huh?
yeah, the clock, the big one that ages people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting into
Okay.
that.
So the movie is To the Ends of Time. What do you want to know?
know.
I said it like 3 times. It's what do you guys want to know
What's
first?
the movie called again?
I don't know. I forgot.
Is it maybe To the Ends of Time?
To the Ends of
The
Time.
movie is called To the Ends of Time.
Okay, just making sure. To the Ends of Time. Okay.
I'm nervous. I don't know why I'm nervous. We've done this like a
Nervous?
zillion
Why?
times.
Why are you
I've been
nervous
doing
about
this
To
for
the Ends of
forever.
Time?
I don't know. I don't know what happened. Okay,
I can
fine.
take over hosting duties.
No.
So the movie's
it's mine.
called To the Ends of Time.
Don't know. We've done that.
sure?
We've done that. We've done
Okay,
that.
just making sure.
So what do you want to know? Do you want to know? Do the people want to know the plot first, or do they want
Yes,
to know
but
the
we
story?
want to know the plot of To the Ends of Time.
Yeah, I prepared a great clip too. So
Okay, so let's talk about the plot of To the Ends of Time, and I also have another clip. Wait,
but-
wait,
but-
wait.
mention it
bef-
again.
But before before you put the plot of To the Ends of Time, there's a little bit of a recording you did, didn't you?
Yes, that's not a
Before
clip.
that,
A
where
different
Tim
clip.
is talking about what he thought, what he could remember from the Ends of Time.
Yeah,
Yes.
before he saw To the Ends of Time.
Yeah.
Okay, so
that's
no,
right.
let's do it like this. Let's do it chronological. I'm going to tell the story of how I saw To the Ends of
Yes,
Time.
I
when
want
was
to
a
know.
child.
I want to know. Yes,
So
then
I
let's
wanna
we
talk
do
know.
the
about how you
clip.
saw To the Ends of Time. Okay.
Of To the Ends of Time.
Then we do the clip of what I think the plot of To the Ends of Time before watching it again, and then as I watched it again, I will tell you the true plot. So.
Of
To
To
the
the
Ends of Time.
Thank you.
To the End of Time. So long time ago, back in the 90s. I think this movie was made in 1994, released in 1996. Back in the day, when was the DVD released? Like when did DVD start to be used?
Like late 90s?
I think late 90s.
Okay, because back in the den,
Tim, you lived in a den? I mean, that's where they showed Zulu, Yankee Zulu.
Yeah, I lived in the cave in
the den.
Serbia, and we talked about the Serbian and Yugoslavian TV stations. But we're going to talk about
great.
something
That's
else.
great.
No DVDs. You guys had like fancy, rented VHS places like Blockbuster. We just had these dinky old places called videoteca, which means anyone in their house would have a spare room, and they would buy VHS tapes, and then they would rent them. And
The Videoteca is like a translation, like video store.
video rental
basically.
place, but it's not like
Yeah, thank you.
it's official, but it's not like a place like somebody like like a store or something like that. Like it's someone's
It's interesting
house.
though, Tim, that I remember also like in Croatia, there was a couple of places, but they weren't so much people's houses. They actually were like, I remember sort of like an actual business. Were these businesses or were they illegal?
I'm pretty sure they were illegal, but I think
Oh, okay.
like as far as like like actually registering as a company,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
kind of thing. I mean, I'm pretty sure in the city they were like official, not chains, but official
right,
like
of
these.
course, because you're talking about where you grew
Yeah,
up,
my little
small
village.
town.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, of course, yeah.
The village, remember the village?
The village. So they were. I don't remember ever going to one of these that weren't like someone's house. And so yeah, there was this one place we used to go to. So my brother,
Did they
older
have a
brother.
name or no? The place?
Oh, dude, they probably do, but I would have to check with my brother if they.
Are you going to
remember.
mention ours, Jacob? In
What
our
was yours?
village?
What was yours?
The one in Petrinja.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. So that was called Sherwood. Videoteca Sherwood.
Wow, they had like a English name. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay, go
Oh,
on.
man.
So
It's probably
this is-
called like the name of the dude or name of their children.
cool.
That's always
That's-
the business,
that's
the name of
awesome.
the children.
in quotation marks too.
Every store, every like convenience store, like local, like where you buy your groceries in my village, every single one was named after their child. Everything was like Ivana.
Child.
Yeah, like Svetlana, Ivana. That's how you know you go to Svetlana. You go to the
My
store.
favorite was like in Croatia, the typical thing is like cafe bar, and then they put in quotation marks like Antonio.
Yeah,
that's very creative.
Except one was called Mandarina for some reason.
Ooh, that's thinking outside the box.
Yeah,
That's
Mandarina.
So this guy's videoteca place was in his like house,
Yeah.
and you kind of like
It was
there like signs or something you just heard from the village like that's the
No,
place to go.
I think he had a sign, and it was like in his house, but you didn't go through his like main
Yeah.
entrance.
His,
Like it
like,
was side entrance,
Ground floor or something like that. Yeah.
ground floor, and it was like a room, and they had like a desk. It was like very wooden, really like I was like maybe 6, 7 when.
Did
when
he
we
have
did
like
this.
did he have a desk where he had like a little computer or something or no?
No computer. Just the good old papers.
Oh,
and you
wow.
register.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
and you register, and you have, and it's not papers. It's like just like a notebook. You know, the
Yeah, I was gonna
fancy
say notebook. Yeah.
notebook with lines, and you would have your page, and they would write, what you're renting. We got a bunch of movies from there, but so they rented this movie. My older brother,
VHS, right?
VHS, yeah. I guess he would have been about 23, 24, and my older sister, she was like 18 or something like that at this time. They rented this movie to watch, and I don't know if they watched it and I watched the second day with them, because you can rent for a few days, or did we all watch it together? But I'm pretty sure I only see this movie once, maybe max twice.
That movie being To the Ends of Time.
That movie, To the Ends of Time. So I watched this movie, and it just like made like a huge impact on me. Like I remember, like as you can hear from the plot, I don't remember a lot of it, but there's like the beginning and the end
Wait, did we
made a
listen to
really
the plot
strong
already?
impression on me. It affected me like for years of just like thinking of the concepts in this movie. And it influenced me like how I play with Legos, like all these scenarios I would build for and play. Always like a lot of the times it would go back to what I saw in this movie. And in my head, like for a long time, I thought this was like, like this is like Lord of the Rings tier, like this is the top. This is like some amazing fantasy
Cream of
movie
the
that
crop.
existed. Yeah, cream of the crop.
Yeah.
And I would ask my brother and my sisters, like, guys, what is that movie that we watched, this long time ago? And they had no idea. I described everything I remembered. They're like, I have no idea what this is. They're like trying to think of like nothing, zero. And it was like, and I asked other people, like, did they ever watch this movie? Like, by the concept, of this movie, you would think this is some amazing blockbuster that, shook the earth when it came out. But it's like, no one knew about this movie. And it got to a point where, and I tried searching on the web, I tried looking up like right keywords that I remember what happened in this movie. And I found nothing on the internet, like nothing, to a point where I thought I made this all up. I dreamt all of this.
The
It didn't
Mandela
exist.
effect.
Exactly.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like this doesn't exist. I just probably dreamt this as a child, and there's nothing like
I've
this.
had a lot of Mandela effects, but about objects I'm looking for.
Right.
So
that makes sense.
So let's hear what before I watched this movie. Also, getting this movie was incredibly hard, but thanks to my
I really
brother.
wanted to know
I
that
want to know
story.
how
but
you,
yeah.
how you found it.
Well, I need
Yeah.
to found the movie. But before we go into that, I want to play the clip of before finally getting a copy of this movie and watching it. So here's what I remembered from my childhood. about
Here's what
this
Tim
movie.
remembered about To the Ends of Time.
Hit it, Johnny.
Okay, so here's what I remember for this movie. All I remember is a beginning where there's a castle in the sky, there's a princess, and her dad, the king, is like super old, like ancient, like about to die. And then, out of nowhere, these like wooden sailing ships arrive and they're attacking the castle, but they're like flying through the sky, and they have cannons and stuff, and then there's like they're fighting, they're just shooting each other, and then they have this like secret weapon. This witch advisor of the king, she has these huge mirrors, and she uses the sun light beams to concentrate on the ships, and then that blows up the ships, and she wins, and she saves the day. And then I don't remember anything. I think the king falls from the sky and dies. And then the only thing I remember is somehow that witch is the bad guy, and this was her like trick. And then she's somewhere out in the desert in this like huge mechanical clock that is slowing down time. And she has the princess or something. And this prince or other person or beggar or, I don't know, peasant who's in love with the princess wants to save her. So he's like traveling, and like this, I guess the movie is about his quest. I don't remember at all the middle part of this, except in the end, he's like going through this field of like time slowing down. He's turning old, he's got a beard and everything. And then in the end, he wins somehow, and this huge mechanical thing, that time slowing thing, is falling apart. And I just remember it's about to fall on the witch, this huge like gear, and she just says, "Uh-oh," and it falls on her and she dies. And then they win and then they kiss. And that's the end. That's all I remember.
So those were Tim's pre-thoughts about what he thought
Yes.
the end of time would hold.
It turns out I didn't remember a lot from it except the beginning and the end.
I love the
looks
end.
like-
I love that you
the
remember
first
that
10
part.
minutes and the last 10 minutes. I think that's pretty much all I remember.
So
Which is interesting because psychologically you remember the beginning and the end was better.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I tried to find this movie on the internet. I couldn't find it. I think like last year I just like found these subreddits where you can ask for them to find a movie.
Really?
Yeah, like
Obscure media.
yeah, like it's just like, please help me locate this movie. So I just put as much as description as I can, and I think like the 7th or 8th person they figured it out, and it was it. And it was just like amazing moment. It was like, yes, I'm not crazy. This movie exists.
Oh.
Saw a trailer on YouTube, and I was like, yes, that is it.
Did
That
when
is
did
it.
you
have
say-
any opinion of the movie or just like here's the
No.
It's called To the Ends of Time.
Exactly, and it should have been obvious. I could have found this movie, but I don't know what was so hard. But anyway, this
Okay.
movie came out in 1996.
It's called To the End of Time.
To the end of
It's
time.
called To the Ends of Time.
And there it was. And then so we're doing this podcast, and I was like, this is a perfect movie to bring up. I get to finally see this movie, and then
I know how it feels.
and this doesn't exist anywhere. It doesn't stream anywhere. It's nothing. So that was hard, but I did, thanks to my brother, manage to get a copy, and we get to watch it finally. And
Finally,
and I get to see this
After all
movie
these years.
after all these years, after 23,
All this time.
25 years, after all, to the ends of time, we get to watch it.
yes.
So, let's give me. I'll give you the plot of this movie, and then we can just finally
Yes.
start talking about it and get your
finally,
opinions
my
on
clip.
you guys.
Wait, the clip.
Oh, the clip. Oh
We
yeah,
need a clip
no, the
for
clip after the
listeners.
Clip after.
clip after. It's like a second
The
clip.
clip To the Ends of Time after we talk about To End the
Okay,
Ends of
okay.
Time.
Okay, so the ends of time as a tale, as a fantasy tale about a kingdom on top of a castle, on top of God damn it, on top of a hill. And the movie starts
Castle in the sky.
with them being attacked by ships, as I remember.
You remember
Ships-
well.
But these ships are flying ships.
That's right.
Flying ships, and there's a great wall, and they all fight,
Steampunk.
and there's steampunk, and there's cannons firing, and people are dying, and there's steampunky
It's quite an
mirrors.
action-packed sequence. Can't lie.
That in my head, I remember like a long sequence. It just happens once in this movie. There's like this lady singing, and this
Oh,
and
the
then
lady
mirror comes
singing.
out.
Amazing.
The mirror
Let's
comes
let's
out.
keep our impressions later.
Sorry.
Yeah, and
We need to hear
and,
the synopsis.
they win the attack. They win the attack, but the king is sad. He's like, all this war for nothing. He's seen people die. His subjects are suffering. His soldiers. He can't take it anymore. He doesn't want war anymore. He wants a place where music and arts is important. Celebrated. His advisors are like, no, we must fight. But he asked for his oldest advisor, the wizard, what is his name? Asilius, I don't know,
like
whatever.
Achilles.
Achilles. He's like, make me
I have
something.
the
know you
IMDb
can.
here. I have the IMDb here.
I'm looking at it as well. I don't know how to read it.
Saurius.
No.
No, Asilius.
Oh, Asicius. Aeschylus.
He's like these names. I love that it's like names like that, and then you go Princess Stephanie. But anyway, listen. So Asicius, he's like, okay, I'm gonna make something for you. So Asicius, he's like working real
Aeschylus.
hard.
By the way, just for information, Asicius has like the classic
Aeschylus.
super long hair, super long beard, white, classic wizard
man.
look.
And he's got
Classic wizard.
3 acolytes, and they're helping him. And he's like, wizarding thing. No, he's not wizarding thing. He's like doing science. He's writing on parchments.
Wise science man.
He's like measuring little bubbling potions.
Bubbling.
And he's like, okay, he's got it. While there's this other advisor, she's like witchy, and she's got like a henchman. She's using a cat to spy on this guy. She started to figure out the wizard man, and this is where we get which our clip will be playing, he then shows to the king, he's like, I found your solution. The only way for you to like bring peace is for you to stop time. No, for you to stop time for yourself and speed up everyone's time. And then they'll all die and then it's just you and everything is safe.
Yes.
Crazy plan, but the king is like,
Bonkers.
The king is like, no, that doesn't sound right. That's making other people suffering. Thank you so much for your ashishas. Thank you so much for your troubles, but it's great, but we can't do this. This is bad. So he's like, destroy it. And then Ashish is like, I knew, man, I made this, but I knew your heart wouldn't do it. I'm glad.
I think his name is Aeschylus.
Aeschylus.
Whatever.
Okay. So Aeschylus is about to like destroy his work. He uses magic to make fire in his fireplace, and he's going to burn his plans. But then the witch, she uses like dark magic to make winds, and everything is windy. There's a storm, there's a green storm, and the castle of paper is shaking. So
The painted castle.
The painted castle, yes.
So then she comes and she kills Aeschylus, and she steals the plans, and then the other trusted advisor, he was shady. He's like, I'll help you escape, and he helps her escape, but then she betrays him and throws him out of the ship.
Just throw him out, check him out.
She pisses off into the Death Valley in the middle of America, while like they're all sad. And there's another story. There's a peasant boy, not a peasant boy.
Oh, I hate this story. Go on.
While this is happening, the king has his wife is dead, but he has a young daughter, Princess Stephanie. While there's this Stephanie. There's this kid, James. There's a kid, James, and he's got an older brother who's like a cool knight with a sword, and he wins fights. Alexander. and he's like, I want to be like Alexander when I grow up. And he's also completely in love.
I want to be great like him.
Okay, he's completely in love with Princess Stephanie. He's just like looking at her all the time. And they're like, there's the cook, and he's like helping him, like, you know.
Oh, the cook, yeah.
I hate the cook.
the cook, the comedy cook, and he's like helping him get like, you know, to talk to Princess Stephanie, and they're all like, oh, googly eyes. So as this is happening, the witch then makes this time the huge clock in the middle of this black
Giant
desert, and it's just ticking. And every time it ticks, it speeds up. Well, it's speeding up time.
I figured out the math. They explained it. They said that every week that passes is actually a year that passes.
I thought it was a day.
No, it's a week.
So week of years.
He goes,
okay.
We did some research.
He comes back, and he's like,
what did your results show? And he goes,
we crunched the numbers.
If we do the correct prediction, if this is the correct going rate, every week is 1 year.
This is the calculation they give you, but when they're actually showing how the time has
shifty later.
Yeah, there's like a dude, and he's like, oh, look, I planted these tomatoes yesterday. Now they're already ripe. But our man...
That's true.
In the same scene, our man, James, is a kid that looks 15, and the next day he looks like a 40-year-old man.
But no, Tim, what we didn't see is that he explains it later. James says to whatever her name is, Stephanie, he's like,
Stephanie.
He's like, it's been all these weeks, and I grew up into a man. So it's been like 10 weeks or something. He feels 12 plus 10.
Okay, well, the movie doesn't make it feel like that at all. The movie just has a fade cut of you looking at this child, and then it's a man. And like an old man.
The situation is crazy because now you have these children who are now in the bodies of adults.
Yeah,
they're children.
So he looks older now than his brother Alexander, who is sent with the armies and the ships to go find the witch and kill her. They get lost,
as one does. Yeah,
but she puts her winds out, and they all crash land. Some of them, Alexander, and some other men.
Their floating ships. I just want people to remember that floating ships here.
Floating ships in the movie called
like,
To the Ends of Time.
Look like classic,
like 15th, 16th century, yeah.
Brigadiers or whatever those things are called. Yeah. And they crash land in the desert. Alexander and a couple soldiers come back just like a few minutes later. They're like fine, but Alexander dies, and then or James being already old man. I think the king is dying because he's like old. Everyone's dying.
He's crusty, yeah.
Crusty. The castle's like got spider webs everywhere.
And Aeschylus dies too.
Aeschylus,
There's a whole
He died a
funeral.
long time ago.
yeah, Aeschylus dies because they kill him when they escape.
That's right.
The king dies a little bit
Everyone's
later.
aging and
Yeah, Aeschylus
sad
dies
times.
and there's like a lion there and stuff. We forgot about
Yeah,
that.
there's a lion. That's still the
Yeah,
show,
the lion,
definitely.
yeah.
That's bears and like ferrets. Okay, so the point is that like he's like, I'm gonna go. The army has failed, but he's like, I can't do this. I finally found love with Stephanie. They kiss and they tell
James
each other.
we're talking about.
James, sorry, James is like, I love Stephanie. I'm not gonna let this happen. I'm gonna go fight this queen. I'm gonna stop this. So, and Stephanie's just chilling at home. She has some adventures around a roof with a chef. They do stuff. They hit people.
Yeah,
they fall.
Yeah, they hit people.
I don't know what that is about. Anyway, he makes it to the witch. He's now an old man. He meets all the other soldiers.
He journeys across the desert.
He
Yeah,
journeys
Yeah,
for a
the-
long time because he starts as like a, I don't know, 30-year-old guy. And
Yeah.
by the end, he's like almost 70, 80.
Yeah. Like this one point, he's like looking oldish to get some makeup on him, so he's like old, and he finds all the old soldiers. They're old men, and they free the ship, and he uses the ship.
there's a ship that was stuck there for a long
Yeah.
time, but who knows? With the ends of time.
And they make it, and he makes it to the old witch's place, and he's an old man.
That's right.
Can't do nothing there.
Super old now.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say, like the Princess Stefani gives him like this. Gwen
Stefani.
Gwen Stefani gives him a ring, and she's like, "This is the most." And her dad said, "Like this is the most like strongest jewel in the world." So he comes to this
Oh, that's
to the,
what
to
it
the
was.
big clock.
Yeah,
And
to enemy base.
Yeah,
Finds it.
and he's like, and everyone's like laughing because he's an old man. It's like, "Look, you can't do anything," and he starts like. Falls on the floor and he starts like hitting the wood with his hands because he's angry because he can't do it. And then the ring, the jewel, the diamond falls off the ring.
jewel
Falls into the cracks of the gears of the clock. One important thing, they said that the clock, if it runs the full 24 like cycle, even if you destroy it, like the time effect will not
effects
change.
are
So
forever
you only order to stop it. You have to stop it before midnight.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's done. So he does manage to stop it before midnight, which
Like a
dies.
second.
Yeah, the people who died died. They can't
That's
be
the
saved.
thing. I couldn't believe that. I was hoping we were to a full reversal.
Officious, and then and everyone who was old becomes young again, except for Stefani and James. They kind of
They're
become
like
like
young adults.
mid-age. Like they
Who
begin
the hell
They didn't
knows?
go back to
But
the
the
children.
lion
They
was
go
back.
to like
That work. But Tim, you're not sure. Maybe it was a jump cut into the future. Who knows?
who the hell knows? The lion was back. There was marriage, love,
Celebration.
and then the king's overdub says the most powerful weapon in the world is love, or something.
You
like
wrote
that.
it down. You
It's
wrote
like
it down
the-
after you
the
watched it.
most
You sent it to
powerful-
us.
No, I think love is
Yeah,
the
I'm
most
gonna-
powerful
give me a second
thing. Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah. Love
Don't read it to
is
us.
the most powerful force.
You have to scroll a lot because we're talking about Jake's food. Force. There you go.
Thank you.
Show that Tory bitch some manners.
Exactly.
And don't lose the faith, Dan, or something like that.
Yeah.
So that was me trying to tell the plot.
Nice.
What's the movie about again? It's
To the end of time.
Ends
Let's hear a clip of the wizard presenting his
Finally.
Time machine.
his time
Of
machine.
sorts.
Finally, let's go.
This object will be the single most powerful device ever imagined. A device that will not only end war, but make it a virtual impossibility. What I hold in my hands is time itself. When activated, you can watch your enemies age and die before your eyes. Lifetimes are reduced to weeks. The universal force would be yours to command.
The Morlands would be completely at our mercy, my lord.
And we would be prisoners in our own castle. Is there no other way?
Well, the hope would be that the threat alone would deter any aggression.
No man has the right to play at being God. Destroy it, Aeschylus! Oh, my friend. No one in this world can match your power. And I thank you for the loyal service you've shown to the throne. But I cannot accept this gift.
Thank God. Despite all the capabilities of science and magic, I never cease to be amazed at the human heart.
And there you go. That's some of the flavor of To the Ends of Time.
Some of that flavor, some of that sweet To the Ends of Time flavor.
So I've been talking for like half an hour. So I want to hear
right.
your...
Well done. Well done. It's quite a story. Took us to the ends of time and back.
History. In this To the Ends of Time world.
It needed the
time
setup, you know. It took me longer than it should, but we got there. We got there.
So, To the Ends of Time. First time watching it, never heard of it before.
First time watching To the Ends of Time.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
First time watching To the Ends of Time. Never seen it before. Guess what? I have to say, there's a lot of good things that I have to say about this film.
Yeah, me too, but go ahead.
Okay, well, first of all, production design. I know that the budget isn't anywhere near what it could be or what it probably, I don't want to say deserves
What do you think?
to be.
What do you think the budget was?
Oh, like $2 million.
I know.
250,000.
Wait. Okay, so I heard two. So Phil, what did you say?
$2 million.
Okay, Jacob.
Like, okay, let's put 400,000.
Philip, right on the money.
What? Hey!
Right on the money.
What was his
I
again?
did it.
2
I
million.
should go into stocks.
3 million?
Two.
2. Oh man, I was way off.
2 million, yeah. It felt like a 2 million movie. There was a lot of things that were, for the budget that they had, I am just actually very impressed at how it looks like. There's so many like tricks that they put into this thing. I don't know if you've noticed it, Tim, or not, but you probably have. You guys probably saw it. Like, they really made the most out of what they could do with it. And honestly, like, the first thing that grabbed my attention was the production design and the idea, like 16th century aesthetic, but with a fantasy twist with like floating ships. It was like Final Fantasy, you know what I mean? Like Final Fantasy didn't even come out yet, like the new games that had that kind of design style. However, something that went into my mind was Terry Gilliam. There was a lot of Terry Gilliam-ness to it. What do you think?
Baron Munchausen vibes.
Yeah.
Like definitely that. Yeah. With the outfits and everything, and just like the weird scale of things.
Yeah.
But a little bit, but less of a budget. Like less of visual budget. Like there was like you could see here. Like this is on paper. Everything made.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of paper
sometimes.
backgrounds. Yeah, there's like a painted backgrounds. It's not even like a matte shot. Like it's not even photochemically composited. It is literally a painted background, and there's people in the foreground. There's a lot of close-ups, not a lot of wide shots.
the like like it's one funny thing, like you watch like a big movie and you're listening to like someone like Roger, and they talk about like the lens choices,
Roger Deakins.
Roger Deakins, you want to minimize like what, maybe go for like a 40 mil and then like a 70 for zoom, and that's it. This movie used every lens that existed, and you can clearly see it's not a artistic choice why the lens is used. It's only like how much of the scene can we show.
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly how it felt.
And to the point where they got themselves a little bit in trouble because, for instance, later when they have old age makeup, they have these super close shots revealing all their secrets.
Yeah. Because
so
like
good.
it would just be some like insane zoom lens like close-ups for no reason from time, and you can clearly see. I was like, they can't reveal that they're actually on the same spot for the third time now. Amazing.
Yeah, I wanted to just add, like, I think high-level concept is actually good. I mean, in my opinion, you have this sort of, in terms of high-level concept, I think it was good that they had this idea of what Phil was saying, especially this idea of like the cities in the sky and things flying around.
Oh, totally.
I think that they really thought it through. I mean, regardless of whether they could actually show that visually, a lot of these like sort of that we consider like bad movies just have the worst concept in the world. But these guys felt like they had a pretty good thing going.
They had a good thing going. Like, more positive thing about this, like, when I was watching the film, the concept was strong enough for me to think like, wow, what if you could like make this film again, but not the same movie, but like, and I was just thinking like my mind starts wandering into like, what if it was a story about, like an allusion to atomic weapons and world powers.
That's interesting. I was with you up until the atomic weapons, because I was thinking that I was also wondering like, what if this movie was made better? The thing that I think this film has going for it is that I think the concept was strong enough, and even the writing was actually not even that bad in my opinion, that when you're watching it, you were just paying attention to the story. And so I was just always thinking to myself, like, man, imagine, if this movie with this concept was done well, I think it would be actually a pretty decent movie, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was thinking of like just doing a whole different idea with the same kind of aesthetic, but like just, like with concepts that are super high concept, like civilization and what it means to, what you value most in life as a civilization, and how, how actions and consequences create your history, and that nothing is black and white because of all the different perspectives of other people and different politics never mind. That's where I was going. That's where I was going with this. I mean, and I think one of the biggest reasons this movie kind of like keeps you on lock, and I don't know if you think the same way, but the actor Joss Ackland, who plays the king, he was giving it 100%. He was giving 100% of his performance. He was good.
He was.
And it's like too good for this film.
And also, I would say, like, it was a hammy like role, but even was Sarah Douglas playing the evil witch, like that was like Isma vibes there. Like it was for what it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad, like compared to the rest of the stuff, compared to the rest of the actors. I mean, I like the chef, like he's supposed to be comedic, like slapstick. So you can't do much there. I think there was some ad libs as well, because he keeps using the word poop so many times.
Poop,
I don't understand.
That was for me. It was just couldn't believe it. I was watching. I was like, did he just say poop?
Yeah, I think he's like 3 times instead of like any curse word or anything like that. He just says poop. Like don't. I don't know what he said, what the line is, but it was terrible.
So Tim, you've seen the Time Bandits. I still haven't seen Time Bandits, which is a film by, I was going to say Rodrigo Montoya, Terry Gilliam. Is there any similarities to that in this?
I would have to rewatch it, because I'm starting to think like a lot of stuff is in my
ripped off.
Yeah, it's like it's starting to meld, because like now I'm finally understanding like what is from this movie, and there's a lot of stuff in my head I think that's associated to this movie that maybe isn't from this movie. There's this other sequence that Terry G did that's I think at the beginning of Meaning of Life, or somewhere, like where there's like a building, like an office building, a modern office building, and then there's old administrative building. They like attack it. It's like a Terry G thing. Do you ever say, what was that? I think that's like a
I also don't know.
Brazil?
No. It's part of something. I think it was part of like Monty Python. It was like, or beginning of something, and they have like this war between these two buildings. And I always kind of like mushed some visuals from that into this. So it was good to see.
Talking about.
I'll try to find it. I don't know what it is, but it's an interesting thing. I need to revisit that as well.
I know, right?
Child.
Time Bandits.
Yeah, Time Bandits. I don't remember much from the Time Bandits. I need to rewatch that again.
What did you think about To the Ends of Time?
Who?
Yeah, To the Ends of Time, the film we're talking about.
Me,
the host.
Yeah, To the Ends of Time. So let's see. The funny thing is, as you heard in the first clip, I couldn't remember anything besides the beginning of the end. I mixed up some things. I mushed the king and the wizard together.
That's insane.
And I've also mushed the fact that the advisor is thrown out of the ship, which in my head, I thought he was thrown out of the castle. Maybe I missaw that as a kid.
It's interesting you remember that.
But I specifically remember someone being thrown. I think I combine it with when the princess is like fighting those goons, and they're at this door where it's like the long fall. And I think that made a really strong impression on me, like the scale and like the height of that. Because I always had in my mind, like, how long is it? Like,
That's right.
I remember as a kid thinking, like, when they're down at the funeral scenes and the wedding scenes, when there's like grass and lions and stuff.
Lions.
I was always thinking of like, what's it like? Because in that shot when like Gwen Stefani is looking down, it looks like kilometers, to the actual ground. So
She's in a castle, isn't she? She's not on a ship.
Yeah. No, she's in the castle, and from the castle to go all the way down to the ground where they're like chilling, because like the castle looks like it's in the clouds, right?
Yeah.
So as a kid, I always was like thinking, like, how long did it take them for the funeral to get down? Is it like a vacation thing? Like, okay, they get down and they like, or they can they get down anytime? Like, it's like the geography was like really confusing for me as a kid.
I don't understand, but Castle in the Clouds, pretty rad. I'm not gonna lie.
So, and then the rest of the movie, as I was watching it, I remembered everything, and I was like, and it was like slowly coming to my mind. So I did see the whole movie, like the ring. I was like, oh yeah, that's gonna play into it, and they're gonna be stuck in this. And he's got the horse, and he's gonna like everything was coming back. The movie is
Fine.
I guess as a kid,
Not even fine.
As a kid seeing it in your head, like it was really grand, like especially the concept. The plot, as you can tell from the clip, it didn't really ring with me, like especially the kid and the princess, like none of that really.
Oh, that was the most boring it was
resonated with me. I think just the concept did, like the visuals. So as a movie, it is very cheap looking. Like it's really funny. It does the tone is like everywhere. I think the editor was like high on speed, because like this movie, like
so many cuts.
It cuts, but like Yankee Zulu cuts like it's on speed, but it cuts good.
Good in this movie.
But Yankee Zulu cuts it like
I want to hear
speed,
Jacob's
but it's
opinion.
good. But here it cuts like before its time. It's like it's like oh, we're done with the scene. But it's not like,
Before the end
we were done with the scene. It's like, wait. No, okay, we're done. We're moving on.
Right. Makes sense. Jake, I want to hear what you say.
Yeah.
Well, before I get into that, I wanted to ask you, when you were watching this as a young boy, did the concept of people aging kind of like creep you out? And like, oh, that always scared me as a kid.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
It's seeing it now is weird. It's like understanding like well,
like Indiana Jones' Last Crusade stuff, like, oh.
Like to me, to the two things I wanted to like answer with this is like, how much do I remember, and what was the actual truth of seeing it? So that was one thing I want to discover it, and the other thing is like, what I want to know is like, why does no one know about this movie? And I got answers.
I know,
both of them.
right?
One thing. Well, the second one is it's not a good movie. It's like it's. I'm sorry. It's.
I mean, it isn't.
I don't know how much was it released. We'll get into that. I've done some digging.
Okay.
So was the second half of this is going to be fun. I got some info about this movie.
Got some juice.
But I mean, I completely understand. Like even my like siblings, like it's just like, okay, it's fine. Maybe they saw the concept of flying ships before, so that like was okay. And then the rest is just like, it's just like cheesy, like love rules everyone. Like
Love is the greatest force.
As far as like the point of it, it was like nothing original. It was just like, romance, whatever. So I don't know. Okay, so the funniest thing, and then I'll let you guys. The one thing I remember specifically about this movie, and it was about the end, and I didn't mention that in the clip, is when watching this with my brother and my sister, and so when everything's falling apart, the big clock is being destroyed. One of the gears is going to fall on the evil witch and kill her, and it does, right? And then she goes, uh-oh, and it falls on her, and she's squished.
Oh, yeah. So it's like that comedy moment, right?
Yes.
It's like that one where there's like a huge giant gear that is because the entire clock thing is like exploding and crashing and crumbling down at the end in the climax, because like that's the big bad thing that has to be destroyed. So everyone's in panic, everyone's in chaos.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just want to describe this real quick. And the witch, the evil woman, is just, panicking with everyone else, trying to get away. And of course, we have the whole thing where the gear just, and then she goes, uh-oh. and it hits her like that. It's classic comedy.
So we're watching this as a kid, and this is the only thing I remember. And this is how I know I watched it with my brother and my sister, is because of this. And that happens, and then the movie ends, and my brother makes a comment. It's like, that was really good. You know, they did the thing. Usually in these movies, you know, the witch is screaming no and everything, but they did something different. And you know what that does to like a mind of a child is this movie is good. Like, you know, my brother said this thing, like they were clever. Like, and that puts like a pin in your head. It's
burned
like,
into your mind.
It's like, yes, this movie is good. I remember that. I was watching this. I was like, oh my god.
He signed off on it. He's like,
yep,
good.
Exactly.
Approved. They must be good.
So how
Jacob, what did you think?
Yeah, what did you think before? Like, that's when I bring up these movies, I don't give these guys any clue or anything like that. It's just like, there's a movie, this is the title. Don't look it up. Just watch it.
The title being To the Ends of Time.
I had zero idea what I'm getting into, and I did it purposefully. I just pressed play.
So,
and
I want to know the journey.
I don't know why that made me laugh.
No, but honestly, I have to say that from the Tim trilogy, I think this was my favorite for sure, or at least like it was the best.
It's beating out the classic Yankee Zulu.
It's beating out Yankee Zulu.
It's
beating out for sure Kids at the Round Table. I mean, that one's like the lowest.
Yeah, that's an easy. That's easy. That's easy.
I don't know. I just think that this movie was the one movie that felt like it had some kind of potential, and I think that they had an interesting idea going. It's so funny because it's like, when you're watching this, you are just looking at ways of how it could have been good. And they really tried, I think. I mean, even some of the shots, I never felt like people were... By the way, there was this one shot I remember in the movie where I think the... what's that guy's name? The guy you remember so well falling from not the castle, but from the boat.
The advisor man, like, right? The
advisor man comes back after he's... was betrayed by the evil witch, and he's making his way back to the castle, and he's like
Sauris.
Yeah, and he's like falling on his knees. You won't believe it. You guys need to go back to the movie and look at this. But you see the lovely painting or projection, I guess, of the castle, and you can see where it ends, and you can see like the actual like set floor.
No, what?
Yeah, it was amazing. And he's like,
I'm checking it now.
There's like in the beginning of the battle, you can actually people see the stuntmen falling on the like safety mats.
There you go, something like that. It was the same thing. But no, I think they really tried. Like I was watching like those shots and stuff, and even if they felt, like you could tell that they were really trying to kind of get some result they wanted to get with what they had. Honestly, I never felt like it was, on a set or enclosed or claustrophobic. I really was watching and kind of like pretending like, oh man, they're in the sky. That's cool. Like they're in this now castle, and there's a battle thing. And now he's traveling far away. It kind of feels like he's traveling far away. It doesn't feel like he's just traveling across the corner.
There were a couple of movies, Frozen, for example. That's an animated film. That feels like they were just around. It was just like one area,
So I think those things were pretty good. And I think that, like I said, I was just surprised that the writing wasn't that bad. And like you guys mentioned, that some of the actors were quite good. The King was solid, and you're watching and you're listening and paying attention.
Dude, you're right. Jacob, I'm looking at that, and the backdrop where the princess Daphne, whatever her name is, princess, like she's actually holding on, and you can see where the the painted sky backdrop ends, and you can see the garters that are like holding the. Oh wow, fantastic.
They didn't catch that one, but no, it is at the end of the day, like you were mentioning, it's it's a cheesy movie. It feels very flat, like both like visually and in terms of the story. But I have to say that I just feel like there was just things I liked about it. Like I liked that it was an hour and a half. It didn't feel like an hour and a half. They seemed to put a lot of stuff in there that it didn't feel like super boring, but felt kind of longer. They had, I think, a good feel for what they wanted to do. But, I think the concept is like good, but it wasn't fleshed out to the point where, like, I mean, just you are a perfect example of, someone who watched it so many years ago and all you remember was the bookends, the beginning and the end. And now when I'm thinking of the movie, I just watched it a couple of hours ago. I don't know what happened in the middle. It was just like these little antics and him traveling and him falling in love. And
this movie needed like a creature in there. It needed like a
there
monster.
was nothing really.
That's
in the middle
just animals.
Sandwich.
It just had a lion.
And I think, yeah, I agree with like Jake. Is like I understand why that was the most impactful. I think because like most of the energy went into that like beginning and sort of, well, not the end. Maybe the end is just like story wise, it made the most impact because the middle story wise is just like really meandering, just like all over the place.
Really
There's no where it's going. It's like people are aging, people are angry,
People are
Nothing
aging,
really
people are
going on.
hungry. Getting a bit
It's just
grumpy.
bits of pieces of everything. So yeah, maybe if they had like, you know, a couple of revisions of the script, or maybe some like you know, like people who made like Hollywood some kind of experienced people look at like, okay, look at the story beats, okay, like, you know, this is all good, you know, visual concept, this is great, but you got to fix this to make sense. You know, it kind of feels like it was a lot of ideas and not a lot of, you know, kind of editing of making sure, okay, does this fit into this movie or not? And then
But the music was pretty good.
Music was actually pretty good. Yeah, I agree.
when
It was very Vangelis.
dude, when it started, I was like, I going to IMDb to check, is this Vangelis? Because like the theme, the main theme is super close to that.
Yeah.
Exactly, it's almost that theme, but I think maybe it was inspired by Vangelis because that one
I'm
came a
pretty
couple
sure,
of years
come on.
back.
Yeah.
Some classic.
Good old Vangelis.
So Princess Stefani is played by Christian Taylor. You might know her from Zoolander. That's why I recognize.
By the
her
way,
from.
I was watching the movie.
Apparently she was in Tropic Thunder. I don't remember that.
I was looking at her, and she was the only face that I felt like I probably have seen this person somewhere.
Yeah,
Turns out she was like in, I think, other movies afterwards.
yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, like Zoolander stuff. There's some. I think some actors are not speaking English because they're completely overdubbed, like really badly.
Oh, really?
Like the wizard, Schnash, whatever his name is. He's like overdubbed. It's like it doesn't even look English what he's saying.
Well, I mean, the actor's name is Michael Silverback.
So I don't know what happened.
Like, is a gorilla? Is that what he is?
Alexander is played by William Żabka, which is amazing. That's Żabka means small frog in Slovak. But we got all the animals come joining
And we got
in.
a line in the funerals and the weddings.
There's some amazing sound effects. Just like there's one point where somebody takes a paper and it just does this amazing like punching whip. So yeah, some you know, some just sort of like things that a budget maybe could have fixed, or maybe some more experienced. But I don't know if you guys if you have anything else to say about this movie, or any points of the movie to bring up, or if we can move on to some diggage.
Nope, I'm already a child. That's all I remember.
Yeah, funny. No. I mean, you know, it's an influential movie. I'm pretty sure, you know, Peter Jackson got inspired when he was doing the Minas Tirith, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Could be.
Definitely. George Lucas saw the romance and he was like, this is perfect for the sequel. I mean, the prequels.
For the prequels that Tim is actually going through for some reason.
I was having
the man who has
flashback.
never been, the man who's never seen these films when he was a kid is watching the prequels.
Who sold the world.
Yeah. So, this movie is directed.
About time. No, it's To the Ends of Time.
Different film.
It's directed, written, and a bit produced by Markus Rothkranz.
Aurelius.
Marcus. So as I was watching this,
Marcus.
Just watching so many red letter media, the Vanity Project light bulb was starting to go like, this feels like someone's vision of someone someone who really like has this in their heads for like a long time.
You mean like a
and
James
they get given
Cameron
the opportunity,
Avatar
and it's like they got to do this.
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking a similar thing.
So
King Kong, you know what I mean?
Just like this is the thing, right? This is life is beating. You know, like it's coming to this. So I'm trying to find like any behind the scenes or anything like this about this movie. Can't find reviews. It's not even on Wikipedia, this movie. No wonder I couldn't find it. So I find a on this site
a wiki fandom,
which I think is a review.
Wait, are you serious?
Right?
No, joke.
No. So I'm looking for any review or anything like that. I found a couple of reviews from like 1997 on the web, by the way.
Did you find it in like Variety magazine or some film? Yeah.
And it's just retelling of the story.
Yeah, the same thing for Yankee Zulu.
Completely useless. I think they were just
the review from Variety was like 2 paragraphs or 3 just describing the plot, and then it says like, well, it's kind of like not amazing.
Yeah, exactly. So to the ends of time, and I'm going to read you what was written here, and then I started to realize where I am. So, to the ends of time. This is an epic movie Markus made in 1994 that played in theaters all over the world. And it's like, okay, this guy's really like a fan of The Ends of Time. It's a romantic storybook fantasy with flying ships, castles above the clouds, and a love story that transcends time. It's like, okay, this person's really loved this movie.
Okay.
A film for the whole family starring Christian. Okay. And then what is this? Okay. DVD, a remaster for DVD. Okay, made in 1944 for a price of a TV commercial. This movie shows what's possible when someone puts their heart into something. Markus Rothkranz not only created, wrote, and directed this movie, but he also built over 300 miniature models, designed the costumes, sets, and even worked camera on many of the shots.
What?
The undertaking of this film is epic. It had an army of knights on a horseback riding through Death Valley, epic battles with major pyrotechnics and stunts, lots of exotic animals, and a soundtrack made by a philharmonic orchestra and 100-man choir.
Wow.
The red flag of Vanity Project is starting to kick in. This is before digital effects and computers.
Oh, man.
Truly a work of the art. To the Ends of Time speaks deeply to about us our short lives really are. And I see underneath it, buy the DVD. It's like, okay, I guess this is like some kind of review. And then I look around on the website and I'm looking at this and I realize I am on the Markus website. But it's really hard to think because this website, it doesn't look like something I would associate with Markus. But then I look down and it's like, find me on Facebook, watch me on YouTube. This whole website is about healthy lifestyle and like
what?
And there he is.
What?
And then the rabbit hole starts. The rabbit hole.
This is where it starts.
So this is where I was. And there's this picture, Markus, he's got this like flower and it's all green. And I'm like and I go to about Markus and look at this guy. This guy's got a YouTube channel, an active YouTube channel.
What?
Called Health,
Day
Success, and Relationship. Right? So this is what I'm looking at. This man has an Instagram called Markus and... So celebrity authors Markus Rothkranz and Kara Brotman show how sexy life can be when living on a diet of raw food and passionate love.
What? How do you spell his last name? Markus?
No, I'm putting in all links. Links are in PPKK.
Okay.
His website, his YouTube channel, and his Instagram. So he's about, I would say 50. And this guy's like selling products like all natural protein powder. He's got like zillions of YouTube videos of his like how it changed, like how to put enema up your ass and
what?
Like
this is amazing.
This is one of these like, like natural, like you eat raw fruits and vegetables and it'll change your life. It'll like your bones will heal and no cancer and you'll never be sick.
Markus, look at this guy.
Love this guy. He's got this whole grift.
Girlfriend?
I think like his partner or something.
A partner.
The thing is that
oh my goodness.
Look at these amazing photos.
Yeah.
They're just like chilling on this tropical island.
Look at them. They look like they came out of the Jumanji.
Yeah. And
that's
right.
Like
the high definition, like super photos. I mean,
what?
And then, this whole aesthetic is like, I watched like his YouTube videos. It's really about like selling his like products and like this whole lifestyle, how it changes. And
no, give us To the Ends of Time. That's what I want.
So yeah, and then if you on that website, I send you, if you look down, there's, you can actually watch, there's like a behind the scenes. It's not much behind the scenes except like what I read right now, but
disappointing.
He explains things, but it's amazing. Like I love the attitude of this guy.
I'm looking at this is amazing.
So
like I'm looking at his
writing
website
about himself, like his accomplishments.
So it's
absolutely.
Yeah. So it starts off like the half an hour behind the scenes. I think like half of it is just like footage from the movie, but it starts off. There was a boy and he had a little dog and he was young and he had dreams of becoming a filmmaker and all this amazing stuff. And then, 20 years later, he got his dream. And, and a $2 million to make his movie. And, $2 million is not right in Hollywood, but I made it all work. And then he explains all these techniques. He wrote a book about it called Dreamcatcher. You can buy for $32 off his website.
Incredible.
It says here beautifully, buy DVD for $19.97 or buy the DVD plus Dream Chaser.
Oh, okay.
For
So DVD and... So Dream Chaser
that's a good deal.
is about how he made that movie on the budget, and he explains how he built all the miniature sets, he storyboarded the whole movie and he drew all the paintings, and he's talking about this.
I will admit, this is amazing. I had no idea you'd find this.
So
yeah, totally.
He's talking about there's this scene where the king has to go and talk to the painting of his wife, and we realize we don't have a painting of his wife.
Oh no!
So I
painted it.
Yes. I took a plywood and I painted on it, and that's how we used it. And he's like a painter.
Wait, where was the painting?
Oh, it's like the king
He's like Sarah, the nights are so cold without you.
Exactly. And he painted all the backdrops, and he did everything. And he's like on his YouTube, he does like this healthy lifestyle. He's a musician.
Yeah, I see.
He has like these CGI shorts he did. I don't know, but this is amazing.
I see the painting. That's an incredible painting, to be honest.
He whipped that out on a piece of plywood in the middle of the night.
Wow.
So either this man is super talented and he's just like hilariously, I don't know, like
lifestyle thing.
Into himself, or he's like a complete grifter and this is all fake, and he's just amazing at selling things because
I don't know what it is, but it looks very amazing.
He sells his paintings.
He worked on the movie.
Markus Rothkranz.
It's true.
Markus Rothkranz.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
He's an incredible man.
I just like the fact that he's still like selling this like so many years later. That's amazing.
I know.
Yeah, Marcus, if you're interested,
This dude did everything.
We'll interview on this podcast.
I think that we might be one of the only podcasts. So please
Marcus.
Yeah.
Marcus.
We would like to know about maybe not about the whole healthy lifestyle. I think I know about it. Yeah, I'm okay with that. But maybe
that's going to be the deal breaker. So. That's going to be the deal breaker.
But about time to the ends of time, we can talk about that.
Yeah, I would love to also know. What do you think about to the ends of time nowadays?
Exactly. So yeah.
How about going to pitch this to Netflix or HBO or whatever?
A remake?
Getting a miniseries. Yeah.
So yeah,
I want to see To the Ends of Time too.
That's amazing. I can't believe
time runs out.
Watch this documentary. Well, it's just a trailer, right, for Dream Chasers.
It's basically he's talking about the book, but he gives some of the deets, like how he made the breastplates out of plastic, and he painted them all.
That's amazing.
And it's great. It's
in order to receive something, you have to give it first. Markus Rothkranz.
So I'm glad because I came full circle with this movie. I saw the movie. I found out the person who made it. I get to share it with you guys. You get to experience the flying ships. I've learned something about myself.
I've learned something about Markus Rothkranz.
This is amazing. I'm watching him paint the armor.
You're learning about the painting of the armor. It's great.
That's awesome.
It's good stuff.
I mean, I think we can agree that this was maybe the most information we had from this movie.
He did some paintings for, I don't know what he did for. Maybe it's concept art. Maybe it's matte paintings for Muppet Treasure Island. I think.
Yeah, he did some stuff on other movies as well as visual effects.
I mean, to his credit, the miniatures look pretty good.
Yeah, the ships and stuff, they're pretty good.
Yeah. They looked great. Like I said, the production design. Yeah, man. It was very inspiring. I'm inspired. I'm very inspired by Markus Rothkranz.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say about To the Ends of Time? I'm not sure, actually.
I think it's worth a watch.
I think from
if you can find it,
3 movies,
yeah, it's
I
true.
would say that maybe
just buy it off his website.
The first one. That's
do
true.
It. Buy it off his website. Get the book, and then send us the book. we'll read it.
Send us the books.
Please send us the book so we can borrow it.
Yeah.
After you're done.
He has other
Yeah,
books.
yeah, yeah.
One book where he's like the picture of him like butt naked, and it's about like life and stuff. I don't know, maybe not that
It's
one.
about life and stuff.
For food medicine, I'm looking at his store. He's got everything. He's got enemas. He's got like heart formula.
Is the one you're talking about with the butt called Heal Yourself 101?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I see that. Heal Your Face. That's not a bad one.
Oh yeah, classic.
I feel like the Uncooked book is pretty good. Good one.
That's a classic. Yeah. Dude has like some of his videos like 5 million views. So yeah, remake.
There you go, Marcus.
Pitch it to Netflix.
I want to see it.
Remakes
To the ends of time.
To the ends of time. That's it.
Thank you, Tim. This is definitely a worthy conclusion to the trilogy of
so.
Tim's films that he saw when he was a
Oh, yeah.
child and forgot everything about. Yeah,
So this is the conclusion. This is the end of the trilogy. We'll be doing another theme next time we hear each other. I'm glad you guys enjoyed the journey. I think we're doing the best off of the three from what we watched. I think Jacob, you said this takes the win, right,
I'd
for
say
you?
It's To the Ends of Time, Zulu, and Kids of the Round Table.
So it just kept getting better.
Yeah. What about you?
exactly,
What about you, Phil? You feel the same way?
I don't know. I have a hard time grappling with, because like To the Ends of Time, like I said, it has its values. Values. It has its.
It does have.
It does have
pros.
values. So
It's Valentine's. It's about love.
I wanted to say like pros. It has its like not pros.
Pros.
It has
It
its
is prose.
positives.
Poetry.
Like a nice, story.
I know. It has its positives, but it just doesn't feel as fulfilling as Yankee Zulu. That to me is where a deal breaker happens, and I can't help but remember Yankee Zulu and how fearless they were with what they were doing, and how many times it made me shocked and
I mean, look, I will
surprised,
say
but
that
also,
Yankee Zulu
made me laugh.
I mean, the characters are memorable, so that's something that they have. This movie doesn't have.
Yeah.
I know. I remember everyone ranking.
I don't remember the names, but I remember all the
Yankee-
characters for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The kids in King Arthur's
Yeah,
backyard
forgot
or
all
whatever
of
that movie's called. That one was the worst.
Except, of course, for
That one was the worst.
chicken a la king.
Chicken and a king.
No.
Yeah, we don't even talk about that anymore.
Yeah.
You are no king. You are not Arthur.
King of burgers.
Burger King? Los Angeles King? Or chicken a la king, perhaps. King.
That's very good. There you go.
I don't know. I just find that so
Yeah.
ridiculously cheesy and stupid. I can't believe they even wrote that down. Like, I can't imagine a guy sitting in a room or a woman sitting in a room going, or a chicken, comma, a la king. King. A period.
And a king.
What the frick? What are you doing writing those things? I can't believe it.
I know.
I think you wanted to say what the poop.
Yeah, I'm sorry. My language. What the poop?
Yeah, what the poop?
What the poop.
Can you guys believe that?
You know what, guys? When we were talking about this, I just remembered that there is one fantasy film that I watched as a kid. I don't know the title of it. I know that we rented it on VHS in Petrinia. And
I smell mystery. I smell a quest.
it's a mysterious thing. So I'm just thinking, there was a lumberjack, there was a giant cobra.
Hey, Phil.
Dude,
Here's another
we have to find
mystery
it.
to solve. Remember that one time
Yeah.
we asked our dad if he could go to...
The cobra was talking, by the way. A talking cobra.
Remember we went one time, asked our dad if he would be kind enough to go get us The Emperor's New Groove and check it out from the video store. And he came back with some kind of Emperor's New Groove. Oh, it was like some like, bad ripoff or something.
Good Times,
And-
like a Good Times B movie.
Yeah, and it's a cartoon.
animated film.
And at the beginning is like the little emperor or something sliding down a staircase going, wee! I don't remember, we turned it off. We were like, this is not...
Yeah, that's it. We were done. That was like the
Phil.
first
You can-
bit of
you can look
animation
for
in the
that
entire
one.
film. And he's just going, whippy! And we just stopped. And we're like, okay, we're done.
So you never saw where
And I
that
remember
went.
our dad was upset with us because he
Get
said,
that
like,
shit out of there.
I rented this for you. It's like, at least you could do is watch it.
So you
Like,
never
we were
saw it.
spoiled and we didn't watch it.
Oh no, you
Spoiled
never knew.
kids.
Maybe that could have been your Yankee Zulu. That could have been
Maybe,
your.
yeah.
Oh, you could have.
See? And we
Could've.
just cast it aside like little
We
cast it aside.
judged it on one slide.
on one freaking scene.
It's true. Yeah. I think it was like the Emperor's New Clothes or something. Some
Oh,
kind
okay.
of-
It's bound to be good.
I don't know what it is. But anyway, that live action film that I'm thinking of with the lumberjack and they're like on a raft and then there's a talking cobra that talks to like an evil wizard.
Yeah.
There's like gems, you know, you guys don't even, and there's like a sad moment where the lumberjack was crying.
this, I have not seen this movie, so,
So what's your ranking?
So
I'm really curious. I need to
don't
find
know if
this
I have a
movie.
ranking. I guess there's a ranking that's derived from this, but basically, you know, the point was to revisit something from a child and see how it compares as an adult. You know, like if you look at the round table with the kids, that's like it goes from like something in my mind that was super like high up there, and it's just completely disappointed, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you look, you know, the Ends of Time, it was kind of like in the middle, you know, like there were some things that I understood, like, oh yeah, there's the flying, you know, the castle in the sky, and there's the flying ships, and I was like, there's a little bit of like some kind of nostalgia, some kind of feeling going on, but the rest of the movie was like, what am I even watching here?
Yeah.
But the feeling of like childhood that was just like instantly like exploded in me hearing that song in Yankee Zulu, I think that makes Yankee Zulu the top tier, just because of, you know, it lived up to how terrible it is. It lived up to
Yes.
my childhood expectations, you know, compared to the other two. So that's why
Okay, it makes
I'll
sense.
go with
But how does the song go again? The beginning of Yankee Zulu?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
It's
My
awesome.
mission is to heal the world, one soul at a time. Markus Rothkranz.
Yeah.
You can book him. It says book
Oh
me.
man, we can book him for the podcast, but
Oh, we can book
All
him
right,
for the
it
podcast.
says book Markus Rothkranz.
are there any like
known
rates?
as the Renaissance rock star of the public speaking marketplace. Markus Rothkranz's unique style and approach to public speaking has helped him make one of the most sought after experts in the field of positive thinking,
what is
raw
his
foods,
price?
and healthy living.
He's got
Well, it just says-
a flying
it says
jet
in
in the
big
background.
words.
It's not going to be
He does.
easy.
He does. It's not going to be easy. Not with that jet in the background.
No.
It says, ready now? Please note that we do have an event attendance of a minimum of 500 people.
Oh,
That's
shit.
true. You got to be careful.
We have 3.
You-
Where are we gonna get the other
minimum. I think it's maximum now with COVID.
Can you tell your friends to listen to this podcast so we can get to 500 listeners, so we can
Seriously.
get Markus Rothkranz over here?
That'd be so cool.
I'm really suspicious of that jet because I was watching one of his videos, like his
Where's the
lifestyle
jet? Where have you guys
videos.
seen this?
Go to
you have to go to Book Me.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of buttons. There's herbs, books, and DVDs.
Where no, you go to Book Me.
So he's talking about, like, you know, his public speaking, how he changed lives, and there's like
Yeah.
a shot of him talking to some people, and then there's like, it's like a, you know, documentary kind of thing, and it goes back to like a reaction shot that makes you think like this is the post event, and they're interviewing a guy, and the guy's like, oh my goodness, like that changed my life. I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna immediately do what Marcus says, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as he's saying this, and you can clearly see it's a green screen shot with like a stock footage of people walking around in the background. You can clearly see it.
By the way, guys,
fake.
I have a story to tell you since we're on this topic.
Oh man.
What? Oh man.
But it's funny.
I was hoping that plane would be real.
Oh, yeah, but listen,
I don't know.
I thought we could be friends with them and we could get a
Maybe
you know,
the plane
little
is real. I
private-
don't know, but it looks a little bit stocky.
Well, so
to me.
listen to my
Little
story.
private vegan time.
So I was on.
I'm sorry, Marcus, if it's real. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we don't know. But I still can't find your freaking book me.
we don't
button,
know. He's a
Marcus.
mystery.
I'm trying to book you, but your website is weird.
Marcus is a man of
It's all the way
mystery.
down on the green on the green thing where it
Here,
says
I'll send it to you.
it says
Find
what
me
I
on
do
Facebook,
testimonials
watch me on
book
YouTube,
me
newsletter navigation. Where's the book me?
Watch Marcus on YouTube.
on the bottom.
No, right next
I'm gonna
to
watch him on YouTube.
Okay, well, guys,
I think
look,
this
that's
is over.
a different. There's a button that says "Watch Marcus" on YouTube. Oh, it's a carousel. It's changing.
Dude, look at his paintings.
This man has
like
incredible
t-shirts.
hair.
It's like the t-shirts.
Oh, that's the jet you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's-
real.
It
Looks
could be
pretty
real. I don't know. It's my mind is
I
like,
think
you know,
he rented it for that day for a photo shoot.
Marcus is just a very mysterious person.
We need to
I
learn
think
more
we
about
keep it
Marcus.
that
I
way.
think. That's
yeah.
the next
Look at
series.
his. I sent you. Look at his paintings. I think you can buy those.
I need to see these paintings. He's a pretty good artist. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Oh, these are cool. These are like
Those
like a metal album.
Let me see. Wait.
You can get his
Rock.
like book, like his art book. We'll get that for you for your birthday.
That's a good one. Yeah, it's Jacob's birthday almost.
Oh, true. We can get you, Jacob.
So, are
Okay,
you
guys,
looking at
guys,
collector
wait.
images from the heart of Marcus?
You guys were saying,
so.
is the pictures photoshopped? Well, I have some proof for you. For you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna
Yeah,
debunk
look,
it.
look. You tell
Show
me
me.
if this is not Photoshop. The banner image of him with his Sony EOS. I mean, the Canon EOS.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a great one.
Wait, where is it? Where?
So-
Did you? You're sending it on.
The camera is more in focus than he is. Actually, I don't know. Now.
Look at the hair. I don't know. Look at that hair. That looks like somebody
Okay,
using
no,
the
he's cut
grass
out for
brush
sure.
on his
Look.
hair.
The back of his hair is not. There's no background. It's just like.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But he's
Anyway.
a master artist,
So
This is
listen,
mysterious.
My story when it comes to these things was I was on YouTube and I, there's a guy who came up in the ad, right? And this buff young guy, and he's like, do you think that you can, exercise and by doing that you'll get results? No. Let me tell you the secret. How they start those ads.
Yeah.
And my
You
favorite part was,
thought.
and then, listen, and I was thinking to myself, you know what? I never ever click these. I want to see what is he going to tell me in the video. What is it going to be? And you won't believe it.
Okay.
I watched this video for 15 minutes or 10 minutes, and the dude was not answering anything. He was just telling a story that was going nowhere. He was like,
Wait, you're not talking about Marcus,
not
are you?
Marcus.
No, it's some
but
other man.
It was a buff
Oh,
guy.
okay,
he was
okay,
just
some other
talking
guy.
about, I'll give you the answer. He's like, you know what?
We don't talk about Marcus that
No.
way.
And he was like, people think that you shouldn't eat fruits. Well, the answer is, I'll tell you. And he kept saying that for like 10
He
minutes.
never gets to the damn answer.
And at 15 minutes, I realized, like, wait a second. Like, he caught me. And I was like, wait a second. He's not answering anything here. And then in the middle, he's plugging his book and his DVDs where the answer truly lies.
So sneaky.
Very sneaky. That's very, like, conniving marketing. And I skipped around. That video is half an hour, by the way, of him saying nothing. And then I was like, you know what? I was like, instead of me just thinking on my own, why don't I go and type in his name and then Reddit, enter to see what people think. And it was so funny because I get to the Reddit and it's some bodybuilding Reddit, right? And people are saying like, oh man, he's the worst. Don't listen to him. He's actually just an actor and he's like, he's not even real. He's like, if you want a real guy, look up this guy who puts up free videos on YouTube, who's an actual bodybuilder and stuff like that.
Markus Rothkranz.
Exactly. Marcus on his Instagram.
And I just found that very fascinating because I couldn't believe that there are videos like that. And he paid for advertising to say nothing for 20 minutes in the hopes that someone would be like, you know what? I'll buy his thing for $100.
I mean, it has to work
for
people
sure.
people live off, or they're like faking it and they'll just
I just want to know what his,
Fake it till you make it.
real DVDs are like. That'd be amazing. Like, we're going to do
That'd be
a push-up, but
amazing.
not yet. Let me tell you about it. We'll have to do push-ups.
Ever since I turned off like Google ad tracking, like so they know nothing about me, I get the randomest stupid ads like this as well.
Hey,
Just
me
some
too, me
dude
too.
Is like, do you want your videos to look like this? The worst one is if you're looking at any tutorial graphics, there's a stupid one when they're like, would you want to make a video like this, like recording yourself? Use doodly shit, whatever it is, like to draw
Doodly
yourself.
shit.
Tim, do you get
I
that
know,
coffee guy
exactly.
who's like on an iPhone app? He's like,
Oh, yeah,
here's my
he's
video
like-
for coffee. He's like, it looks bad. And I was thinking to myself, it actually looks pretty good. And then he says,
Yeah.
and then he goes, I'll show you how to make it look better. It's like really shitty logos he's making. And I'm like, oh, well, stick to the iPhone video thing. It looks better.
The worst thing about it is that all of those like iPhone ads that are shot on iPhone has this really, like, the microphone makes it seem like you're really there. So if I have headphones on, like if I'm listening to music, which is like production is really like, like located next to your ears, and then like an ad comes in, I always think my headphones are unplugged. I'm always like panicking, checking, are my headphones unplugged? Because just the sound, it sounds like it's like in your room. I hate those ads.
Guys, I hate to inform you, I think we should probably end here. We don't want to go over our
Okay.
No, I think
I'm still browsing. I'm looking for ebooks to heal anything by Markus.
Well, Phil, you can pick some of those up and
Rothkranz?
share. Like we can do a book club.
Yes.
Markus Rothberg.
Marcus on Instagram. We'll tag him. Marcus, we'll tag you. Yeah.
We can all read a book and then we can share what we learned.
It's true. I'm going to get Dreamcatcher.
Of course, you're going to get Dreamcatcher, the lucky one. We're stuck with freaking eating apples and oranges or whatever.
Yeah, age-free, plant protein, capsule and powder combos.
Phil, you know what we should do? We
That's
should
what
both
we're
buy a
stuck
book
with.
and try it for like a week and see how we feel. Maybe we'll have spiritual
Yeah.
renewals.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll be transported
All right,
to the
I hope
jungle.
so.
Okay.
Maybe I'll be inspired.
It's the end. Thank you for listening. This
you,
was
everybody.
three episodes with Tim. We're not going to end with the theme song today. We're going to end with a magical song that me and Jake made for Phil.
That's
for you.
right.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it was
right.
Phil's
It's
birthday.
very relevant. Thank you. It was for my birthday, just like 4 days ago. It was
Yeah.
fantastic. Loved it. I keep trying to show it to
Well,
everybody.
people will listen to it now.
It's okay. It's for you,
People
Phil.
listen
It's
to
for
it
you.
now.
But people,
Thank you. I appreciate
you can
it.
share
I
it
really
with the
liked
world.
it.
Thanks everyone for listening. See you next time for some special something.
Something else. Something else. It's not going to be Tim's movies
No.
that he half remembers to the ends of time.
All right, everyone. Bye.
To the end of time. Bye bye.
Marcus's Twitter handle is Atomic Dude.
Chicken nugget, where are you? Chicken nugget, I need you. Chicken nugget, where are you? Chicken nugget, I need you. I want to stream to my friends all the art that I make, but I can't 'cause my internet is way too slow. What do I do when the trouble comes? When I'm too sad for my internet, I reach into this box. It's the box of the lights with processed meat. Chicken nugget, where are you? Chicken nugget, I need you. Chicken nugget, where are you? Chicken nugget, I need you. I recorded a podcast, but I can't upload 'cause my internet is too slow. I got a guy up there eating my landlord's fridge, and I'm looking at this light thinking, one day it's gonna blink green. But meanwhile, I have one thing to make me happy. The box of the lights, yeah. Chicken nugget, where are you? Chicken nugget, I need you. Chicken nugget, where are you? Oh, chicken nugget, I need you.